Hi, and welcome to my YouTube page. I'm Gigi, and I'm going to talk about today is what I'm feeling. So, most of my life I've been kind of indecisive about what it is that I want to do, and it's very hard when you've kind of been controlled most of your life by different variations of people, and you come on a path where you've left that control. You live on your own, and your mental health does go a bit by the way when you live by yourself. But I know myself well, and I know my soul well and my higher self well, and in this stuff I do get a bit indecisive with my relationships, and I don't know, this is a whole spectrum about happiness really. And when I get something that I've always wanted because I ask for, I feel like actually I'm not liking what it is that I've got. And instead of seeing it and embracing it, because this is a problem that we have, this is why I changed my business name, because I wanted to embrace myself really, which I was doing in the beginning of this year. And now I'm in stagnant energy, becoming a blank canvas. And when you get through your trauma of healing it, you get stagnant because you don't know how to be, and that's sad. And because we're not taught how to embrace ourselves, we're not taught that happiness is there. And this is why I come along with this spectrum of light and dark and stuff like that. And this world isn't about that. This world is literally about just making your own happiness and walking forward with it, and do the things that make you happy and be with the people that make you happy and have fun. But right now I'm not really having fun, and I kind of miss that of part of myself, of a part that I used to be. And I feel like I'm not stuck. I keep trying to move forward, and then I go a bit backwards, and I go a bit into grief mode. People call it depression, but it's grief mode for me. And yeah, it's weird. But I've got to heal this part of me about being indecisive. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but psychology. So this is how I kind of heal myself in a way. And so I look at, where did I pick up indecisive? And I've come to terms of using my fingers as a pendulum. Yes, no, yes, no. To help me question what it is that I do for myself. It doesn't work if you're asking questions on the outside of yourself, so I wouldn't bother. And this is to help you with your inner work, instead of getting a pendulum out and helping you, because that's what pendulums are there for as well, for ourselves. Not really connecting with spirit guides and stuff like that, because sometimes things come true that aren't. But with yourself and your inner work, I've noticed it's always true. So I actually teach this in one of my development groups. So where does it stem from, me being decisive? So I'm going to ask the age. 1, nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 is when I started being indecisive. So what happened in my 20s, I was going into a new career, doing childcare. Is it that? Is it? Oh, okay. I wasn't with my first boyfriend then, but I just met my new partner, Matt, who obviously I married. Have a feeling it's to do with that without using my fingers, but I'm going to ask anyway because it could be something else. Is it to do with meeting my second partner? Yes. Because it wasn't supposed to have been, to me, it wasn't supposed to have been what it was. And instead of me doing what I thought it was, I carried on with it. I did grow to love this person, but it wasn't supposed to be what it was. Now, if I listened to myself then, I wouldn't have had this much shit to deal with, to let go from. So that's the first time I started being indecisive with myself. And it has played out in this relationship that I've just had with my counterpart. And obviously, and we're not seeing each other anymore. He's decided that he wants to go on a different path, which is fine by me. He's got a lot of living to do, and I'm already there. And he's got some growth to do as well with himself, which I'll know he'll get there eventually. And whenever he comes back, even if it's just friends, I would like that. But I don't know. But he picked up my indecisiveness. He was like, you're all over the place. You cannot decide what you want. And I'm like, I know, but he's the same. That's what he doesn't understand. I think that he's actually the same. So I do want to heal this because I want to stop being indecisive with my life, because in my spiritual path, I have gone all over the place. And you do get all over the place with spirituality, and this is going to be on a different video. So I'm taking a lot of step backs in my life, even with my business, my health, and who I get in a relationship with, and everything to do with my lifestyle. Because some things aren't working for me right now. So, yes. So indecisiveness happened with that partner. So if I listen to myself, I know that I wouldn't have gone through this. So who's carrying it? Body, mind, wounded self is carrying it. Inner child, no. You have all these spectrums of yourself, by the way, that you have to ask. This part of wounded. People call it the ego, I called it wounded self. People also call it the shadow work, but I call it wounded self because shadow work actually means something different. there's a lot of spiritual jargon that's got mixed up over the years, and I just want people to realise and understand that you don't have to follow suit like everybody else. You can literally just follow yourself of who it is, who you are, and just do your own values, your own morals, your own self-belief. That's your truth. That's what you're finding out each time you move and step forward as yourself. So how do I heal this one then? Just talking to myself. So, come on, my spirit guide does psychology with me. Plants questions in my head for me, so it's easy for me to talk about it. So you can have many spirit guides, spirit teachers, spirit helpers, and spirit healers. All I'm getting is look inside yourself. Like wounded, if you want to let go, well, I know you want to let go of this because this is why you keep bringing it up. This is what people don't understand either, is when you're acting a certain way that doesn't feel right to you, you're actually acting as your trauma. So when you're acting as your trauma, that's when you sit back with yourself. That's when you question, right, I know this isn't healthy, this isn't normal, what is this? And I go through this pretty much nearly every day. And I know I don't have to keep breaking myself up and keep going on forward with different paths like I have been doing. But it is still there for me to look at and for me to heal and cure and not be in this stagnant energy anymore or negative mindset. It's my responsibility, not me going off looking for another healer to heal me. They can do so much and take pieces off my energy field when I've done the healing. That's what people don't understand is when I go and see a healer, it's because I know I've healed a certain part of myself and it needs taking off. And I can't, although I'm coming into me doing it myself and I'm stopping going to other healers soon, because I won't need them anymore, because they can change your energy frequency and you might actually be in the most purest energy frequency, which I was not that long ago. And silly me, this is why it's for another video, went on to something and then it changed my energy frequency and I'm struggling to get that energy frequency back that was mine, that I actually got from Mother Earth herself, healing the major oak. It was dead weird. And I need to go and get it back because that was meant for me. And I did an activation with the Pleiadians, although I'm not sure she actually did bring Pleiadians because they took that energy off me, which the Pleiadians shouldn't have done that. And so this is what you have to be careful of with going to see different energy healers, and it's a lesson learned from me, a big lesson. Because not all energy healers, I'm sacred and I would not do anything nasty to anyone that I am healing. And people can put shit on you while you're under their healing or change your energy frequency, and it doesn't actually really need changing. But that's my fault. Instead of saying, right, I'm enough now, I'm enough now. I don't need to do any more than what it is that I'm doing, because I'm enough. Now I'm going to cry. This is the bit where my wounded is letting go of something. So as people purge, I cry. And it's okay for me to cry. I actually like the background today. It looks really nice, doesn't it? Someone just said, stop getting off the scale and talk. Because I know I've gone a bit not too far on my spiritual journey, but I've gone rapid and fast on it. And believe that's what I needed to do. Don't get me wrong, I did need to do half the stuff that I've done with just talking to myself. That was all that was needed. I didn't really need it to go into Reiki 1. I didn't really need to go into Reiki 2 either, because that's changed my energy field, and I miss my pure energy that I collected a long time ago. And I'll get it back, but I have a feeling I'm going on a bit of a deep path with self. I've actually sat and looked within my fears inside myself and brought my fears up and kind of talked to me in psychology mode and just said to my wounded, those fears aren't really there and they're not real. There's just something that trauma brought them on a long time ago, like spiders, heights, afraid of the dark. It's all trauma based. And once you heal a trauma, you don't become scared of your phobias anymore. I've still got to try and pick up a big spider though, but I can pick up baby ones, and I've never done that. And let them run on my finger. So that's how I know that I've changed. I'm not a wimp anymore. I'm a warrior. So where was I? Because I'm getting distracted, and this was only supposed to be a short video. So 20, meeting my second partner, because I didn't follow what I wanted. I could have been single for all that time and found myself. But then I wouldn't have learned all this stuff that maybe I had to learn to help myself, maybe others. Sometimes I actually feel that I'm here for myself more than others at the moment. Like things have changed with me a little bit, with the way I work as well, because I don't always bring in spirit. Most of it is actually my higher self, my soul. Well, my own spirit, I guess, comes through with my healings, with my inner work, trying to learn to embrace myself. So I'm missing something, because my wounded's not letting go of it yet, because I haven't triggered the wording, what I need to say to trigger. Obviously I didn't need to do most of this path that I've done with my spirituality, because there's a part of you that needs to stop in one place at one time when you feel happy, and just sit and say to yourself, I'm enough now. I'm enough now. And I need to let her say it, let her feel it, let my body say it, let my body feel it. And then as I let my body say it in my mind, just letting go from my right side, where I've had some of my health problems. I kind of feel like the left side is my soul side of my body, and the right is human. Most of my right is not working properly, but my left, my left side's fine. Because I've been on that soul path for a long time, but then I forgot about my human side, and that my actual physical body wants to live. And live as body, live as my authentic self, soul self, but as body. My body is here for the adventure. My body is here to create her life the way she wants to. And a little bit of trauma got in the way. But it's not about being trauma body. It's about being here, what I actually came for, what I was born for. Love. Love is what I was born for. Love is what everybody is born for. But something gets in our heads, and we forget to see. I'm about to take my blindfold off. Because sometimes we all wear blindfolds spiritually, and we're not aware of the blindfold of love. So I take mine off and see what love really is. Because it's for me. So I wasn't supposed to do that, but that was in me for me to let go of, for me to see. So, 20. That's quite a young age to get mixed up with things. And for 10 years as well. So a decade of not listening to myself. And I have to say sorry to myself. Say sorry to my body. Because that's when I started to get poorly. Feel sick now. Because that's when I started to get poorly. It's when I started to get what they call muscle impairment, of not being able to move my arm. It's when I started to get what they call fibromyalgia. I was in a lot of pain. Instead of just being positive about it, I became negative about it. me not listening to myself played a big part of my relationship not working. What I thought was my dreams being crushed. Of not being able to work with children anymore. Although I'm a different person now and I see I would have been a good mum, but I wouldn't have been the mum that I would have been today. It also crushed my dreams in me actually having children. It was part of me grieving of self, because I thought the deeper I got in not listening to my body, that's when I got my depression. And then I didn't really care about life anymore. So you see, even the woo-woo spiritual still has to go through stuff. Even though I've been doing it for a decade. Longer than a decade now. And it is about going deeper, not just touching the surface of your head, but going deeper where it aligns in your body. And it's quicker. It's quicker to get rid of. You're not really getting rid of it, you're just transmuting it into love, happiness and joy. And white light healing. And you can get rid of, once you've dealt with it, you can get rid of the memory of it. Someone told me that I'm not supposed to, and I'm like, well, because it's still going to be there. I'm like, no, it's not. Not once you've dealt with it and your body doesn't want to remember it anymore because it wants to move forward. Your body loves you so much that it doesn't want to be left in crap. It doesn't want to be left in stagnation. The body itself does not want to suffer. The body itself wants to be free from this place as much as my soul. The body wants to be loved. People just treat it as a vessel, and I'm just like, you're missing and bypassing so much growth. I see so many people that do hypnotherapy that have so much anxiety because they're not looking at a place of the fear that's in their actual body. And I'm just like, you've not done it yet. That's why you've not found the proper trigger. That's why I don't get anxious anymore. And then when I do this part of this self-talk and crying it out it's not painful. It's actually makes me feel a lot better, and that I don't get these triggers anymore, and that I can live life without it. So when I change my name and people dictate what I write on Facebook because they don't know where I'm coming from a different place. I'm coming from a different perspective and a different way of evolving. Even the highest spiritual people don't focus on their body and what is lying beneath there. So I've dealt with a couple of issues in this video today, and I do need to finish my Ho'oponopono off. I haven't stopped doing it. This is one thing that I do as well, is that I know something's wrong with me and I leave it a bit and I choose other things instead of healing it straight away, because I go into shitness and feel shit when I can just sit down for 5 minutes. Sometimes that's all it takes, is 5-10 minutes of your day just to sit with yourself and be like this. So I want to say sorry to my 20-year-old self for not listening and following through what I actually thought, because I was actually right in what it was. I'm always right in everything, what everything is, even my physical health. And it's not my fault. That people choose not to listen. It is not my fault people choose not to listen. It's a shitty thing, communication. The most shittiest thing on this planet that needs sorting out in everything, even with health. Because they ignore you, or they put other things in place that isn't even fucking wrong with you. I have a lot of dislike for some people. But I'm sorry to my 20-year-old self for going through that. I'm sorry for what you've been through with people, of them not listening, not paying attention. But now it's time to shout. It's time to shout and stand my ground. I also want to say thank you to myself, though, for always trying to kick me up the ass and say, I'm here, but you're not listening. And I guess it's law of attraction. When you don't listen to yourself, how are others going to listen to you? So thank you to myself for listening to myself today and getting this stuff out there that someone needs to hear that might help them. I forgive myself for not listening. I forgive myself for not paying attention to what you're trying to tell me into moving forward. I forgive myself that I always knew what it was that I wanted. Just something got in the way. It's time to change my life story into better and new. Because when you get out of trauma, it's about standing boundaries. It's hard because sometimes you do go backwards because you've got used to living there. But it can be easy moving forward, but I've just got to see a different light with it, I guess. Don't know what to call this video. I also want to say to myself that I love you and that I send love, healing to my wounded self, and a big hug that I give myself, because right now that is what is needed. And that I love myself very much, a lot more than what I used to. I mean, I'm 40 now, I'm not getting any younger, I look young, and I do still act young, by the way. Like, who acts 40? No one, because no one knows how to act 40. And this one is missed off on Opono, but I love adding this one on as a bonus point. I accept myself, and I accept what I did in my 20s, and I accept that I didn't listen. I also accept people choose not to listen when it is actually needed. But I'm going to have to start standing my ground now and say, no, fucking listen to me, because you're not paying attention. I'm talking about doctors, nurses, GPs that do this. You've actually got to get them to listen to you and sit there and watch them write. Take in a video recorder and video them in what they say in that room. This is what needs to come in. It's very weird that they update everything, but not the NHS. That they keep everything on paper when they should be putting now things on videotape and keeping them as evidence and storage. Because no accidents would be made if everything was filmed. They do it on paper, they can fucking lie their teeth off. And I've had a few people lie about my wellness and health issues because of paper. And I'm trying to manifest this. No more paper. It's record video. Just take your phones in and start videoing it. You'll find so much change when you video it. And if you find that one person that's genuine on the NHS, that's when things change as well. But there's other people in the background and it's a mess. You've got narcissistic people working there. That's all I'm going to say. But you have some pure light workers working there as well, but don't understand the concept of the NHS. They don't understand. They're working for a corporate, private corporation, and it's sad. It's this. Anyway, that's a different video. But I don't know why I needed to bring that out, but it's because I have passion about it with my own story and what I've heard of others. And it's probably why my spirit team are keeping me off the path so long, because I've just been healing the trauma, and it has made me stronger. It has made my energy body a very strong, removing trauma. It's actually made me stay here longer by working on my trauma. I believe that so much that I shouldn't be here in 2020 and 2021. My body was dying, and they just ignored me so many times. So many times. It's like they can't see physically, and yet you can see my body physically when I take my clothes off. What is wrong with me? It is just it. It is just shit. Anyway, that's enough said for me. And I don't care what your belief system is, because I've seen it, I've experienced it with my own eyes about it. There's just a lot of stuff that they're not taught, and a lot of stuff that they're not told either, especially about parasites. Apparently they keep, even though they can't on me anymore, because I've met someone that knows about them, and she's actually written it in a letter, so they can't diagnose me with, but they diagnose people a lot with delusional parasitic disorder. Delusional. You eat them, you idiot. You have them in your gut. They can go to your brain though, they can go in your legs, they can go all over. That's why India and other places around the world treat you for worms and shit when you go for healing over there. But they don't here. Anyway, that's enough said for that video. So I feel like now this is the question that you have to ask at the end of when you finish healing a bit. So, do I still need to talk to myself about me being indecisive? No. So, the Ho'oponopono must have worked, and me picking up and recognising what I'm doing has helped me. So hopefully I can make, not hopefully, I'm going to have faith that I can make better decisions, because hope isn't actually a good word, it's faith. Hope is a down word to keep you low, because you're having hope, so it's stopping you going to actually do it. So I have faith that from now on I'm going to make the right decisions for myself, for my spirituality, for my business, for my health, because that's just been all over the place, and that's why I've not been getting better, because I've just been going backwards. And it's okay for me too, because it means that I'm learning lessons to get out of it. So, sorry for the long video, but I hope it helps someone today to see we're not all alright, and it's okay not to be okay.